Hello friends, welcome to Total Recap. Today we are going to explain a movie which is based on a true story, named Girl in the Bunker, released in 2018. So sit with some popcorns, relax and enjoy this thriller/drama movie. In the beginning of the movie, we see a man named Vincent digging in the middle of the jungle. However, shortly after the scene shifts to a house located deep within the jungle. There, a girl named Elizabeth lives with her parents and brother. She walks to and from school through the jungle every day. One day, as Elizabeth is returning home from school with her two friends, her friends' parents arrive in a car to pick them up. As a result, her two friends get into the car and head home. Now, Elizabeth starts walking towards her home alone. However, Vincent calls her over to him. Elizabeth is quite surprised because she has never seen Vincent in this area before. But when Elizabeth approaches him, he tells her that he is a police officer and they cultivate illegal substances around her house. So, he is arresting her. Along with that, he puts handcuffs in Elizabeth's hands and a belt around her neck. He then tells Elizabeth that they have already arrested her younger brother and now he is taking her to him. Although Elizabeth doesn't want to go with Vincent, he now takes Elizabeth into the jungle. Along the way, he makes her sit at a place and says, "I'm not a police officer, I like you, so I've kidnapped you, and if you try to escape, the belt around your neck will blast." After that, he starts asking Elizabeth strange questions. He even asks her if she's a virgin. At this point, Elizabeth had already understood his intentions, but she is helpless because there is no one to help her in this jungle. Then, Vincent takes Elizabeth to a bunker. In fact, he was digging this bunker himself at the beginning of the movie. Now, he takes Elizabeth inside the bunker. After that, he ties Elizabeth with chains and says, "Actually, the belt around your neck contains a bomb, but if you still manage to open it, you'll die as soon as you step on the landmines placed outside." In the meantime, Elizabeth's mom is worried because she can't back to home as regular time. She calls all of Elizabeth's friends, but no one knows where Elizabeth is. After that, Elizabeth's parents and her brother also start looking for her with her friends. So much so that Elizabeth's brother even reaches the river near Vincent's bunker, but he can't find her all the way to the bunker. Now, it was night, so Elizabeth's parents file a complaint with the police. After that, the police come to their house and search for Elizabeth in all the neighboring areas. But the police were taking this case lightly because they often receive such cases where children go to their friends' houses without informing their parents and then return the next day. For this reason, the police officers also leave Elizabeth's house. But when Elizabeth doesn't come home the next day, the police go on high alert. First, they goes to Elizabeth's school and questions her friends, where Elizabeth's friends tell her that she had said goodbye to her in the jungle path a day ago. Right now, Elizabeth is inside the bunker. She's very scared because Vincent kept telling her that if anyone found her here, as soon as she set foot on the landmines, she would die. Alternatively, if she managed to escape from here, he would come to her house and kill her brother. Now we can only imagine how much pressure a 14-year-old girl must have been under with all of this being said to her. Although Vincent also offers Elizabeth some food here, she flatly refuses to eat it. But then, in anger, Vincent tells her that if she doesn't eat it, he can also hurt her. Elizabeth had understood one thing here: if she wants to leave here and go back to her family, she must obey every word of Vincent. Actually, Vincent was not completely stable mentally, and he had resolved to keep Elizabeth in this bunker for life. 3 days had already passed since Elizabeth had gone missing, and now her parents and the police set out early in the morning to find her. Although inside the bunker, Elizabeth could also hear her father's voice. But Vincent tells Elizabeth to stay quiet at gunpoint, which causes Elizabeth's father to pass by bunker. In reality, Vincent had concealed bunker in such a way that no one could see him, completely shattering the hope that had arisen in Elizabeth's mind. Meanwhile, in the media, news spreads that a girl named Elizabeth has been missing from home for quite some time. In fact, Vincent had installed a small TV in the bunker, where Elizabeth would watch that her parents and the police were searching for her. Seeing the condition of her parents, Elizabeth feels very sad. Elizabeth had been in this bunker for a full 4 days, so many people started to think that she was no longer in this world. But in these 4 days, Elizabeth had come to understand one thing, that Vincent was not very smart. So, she begins to ask Vincent questions, such as why do you live in this bunker in the jungle? In response, Vincent says that I had a girlfriend whom I loved very much, but she filed a case of sexual harassment against me. Because of this, the police have been looking for me for the past year, and that's why I built this bunker to kill my girlfriend. Before I brought her to this bunker, she had left the country for a while. Then one day, I saw you, and since then, I fell in love with you. I brought you here, and now we will both live here together for the rest of our lives. After all these things, Elizabeth understood that Vincent is a psycho. His mind couldn't function cleverly because he loved Elizabeth deeply. That's why at night, when Vincent falls asleep, Elizabeth quietly wakes up. She shows the gun of Vincent, which is in front of her, but she can't reach the gun due to the chains around her neck. Meanwhile, Vincent also wakes up. After that, Elizabeth pretends to wake up from sleep in front of him and barely manages to save herself. Just then, they hear the sound of a helicopter, and as a result, Vincent covers himself and Elizabeth with foil paper so that the police won't detect their presence here with the help of a heat detector, and Vincent's idea works as the police leave from there. After this, Elizabeth places her hand on Vincent's leg and tries to win his trust because this seems to be the only correct path that shows her a way out of here. Then she tells Vincent that she has fallen in love with him, and despite not wanting to, she has to become intimate with him. Now Elizabeth has been in this bunker for a full 6 days, and Vincent has also come to believe that Elizabeth has fallen in love with him, so he unfastens her belt. Elizabeth's entire family is quite worried about her disappearance, and her father cries in memory of his daughter. The next night, Vincent brings Elizabeth out of the bunker with him. Then they both go to a car where there was fresh food. Seeing this, Elizabeth asks him who left this food here, but Vincent does not respond to Elizabeth's question. Just then, they hear the sound of a helicopter from the sky, which is looking for Elizabeth. Vincent's attention is diverted, and taking advantage of it, Elizabeth takes off her one shoe right there. After that, Vincent returns to the bunker with Elizabeth. Here, Elizabeth also learns that Vincent has a mobile phone, and when Vincent falls asleep at night, Elizabeth retrieves his phone and types a message for her mom. However, the message was not being sent because there was no network in the bunker. Although she takes the mobile outside the bunker, the message still doesn't go through. She then resends the message once and deletes it from Vincent's phone, placing the mobile back in its original location. At that moment, Elizabeth notices Vincent's gun, picks it up, and with the help of that gun, she shoots at him. However, luck does not favor her once again because the gun doesn't have any bullets, which brings tears to her eyes. Nevertheless, she doesn't lose hope of escaping from the bunker and is still confident that she will soon return to her family from there. But a while later, when Vincent wakes up, he sees that his gun is not firing. Because of this, all suspicion falls on Elizabeth, as there was no one else in the bunker besides the two of them. This is why he gets very angry with Elizabeth. However, despite this, Elizabeth lovingly holds Vincent's hand and convinces him that she did not touch his gun. On the other side, it was actually Elizabeth who had attempted to send a message to her mom from Vincent's mobile before the message got deleted. The message actually sends in that message, Elizabeth had written, "Mom, an unknown man has imprisoned me in a bunker near our house." After reading this message, Elizabeth's parents go to the police again, although the police are not sure if the message is from Elizabeth. But Elizabeth's mom tells the police that Elizabeth has written her nickname in the message, which no one besides our family knows. After some questioning, the police start to believe Elizabeth's parents. Now, they extract the details of that number, which reveals that a lady named Catherine had bought this number just a few months ago. After that, they go straight to Catherine's house, where Catherine tells them that Vincent, who used to be my boyfriend, I gave him this number, but I haven't seen him in the last year. Whenever he needs something, he calls me, and then I take all that stuff and put it in the trunk of an old car in the jungle. In the meantime, while searching Catherine's house, they show her 2 bunkers, as Vincent had been hiding in these bunkers some time ago. Then the police interrogate Catherine more rigorously. After that, she takes the police to the same car where she used to leave food for Vincent. Now the police had completely understood the case, and they also realized that Vincent was quite cowardly. So, they spread this entire news through the media. Now, when Vincent watches his news on TV, he gets very scared, which causes him to scream at Elizabeth and say, "Why did you message your mom from my phone? You have betrayed my trust. I thought you were falling in love with me too." But here, Elizabeth tells Vincent that I haven't sent any message to anyone, and if you want, you can check your phone. At Elizabeth's insistence, Vincent checks his mobile phone, and there is no message in his sent items. Seeing this, Vincent starts to believe Elizabeth. But now Vincent was very worried because he felt that the police would soon find and arrest him. Here, Elizabeth tells him to leave from here. "We both can't leave from here together because if we both leave from here together, the police will catch us. Come back to this bunker in a while, and I will wait for you here. When the whole matter cools down, we will leave from here together." Here, Vincent also agrees to Elizabeth's words and leaves the bunker. After he leaves, Elizabeth comes out. 10 days later, today, she has seen the sunlight, but she doesn't go in front of the bunker because Vincent had told her that there are bombs all around the bunker. Just then, she hears the voice of the police, who were looking for her, so she starts shouting loudly. The police, following the sound of Elizabeth's voice, finally reach her. Here, Elizabeth informs Sheriff that landmines are laid around the bunker. However, when Sheriff checks those landmines, they were all fake. In reality, Vincent had lied to scare Elizabeth. After that, the police come to Elizabeth's house where the whole family was quite emotional after seeing her. A few days later, the police also arrest Vincent. Now, Vincent was a threat to society, So he is sentenced to more than 400 years, and he won't be eligible for parole. This means that as long as he is alive, he will have to stay behind the four walls of the prison. With this, the film based on a true story ends right here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to watch similar content.